Alright, let's dive into this Chelsea vs Juventus pre-season friendly, because there's a lot more to unpack here than just the 1-0 scoreline. First off, let me just say, pre-season games are weird. They are like a sneak peek into a team's potential, but they are also filled with experimental lineups, rusty performances, and players still finding their rhythm. So, take everything with a grain of salt, but there are definitely some standout moments worth discussing. What immediately grabs my attention is Geovany Quenda's debut. Personally, I think this kid is one to watch. He's only 18, and yet he looked like he's been playing at this level for years. His involvement in Chelsea's attacking play was immediate, not just running around aimlessly, but making purposeful movements, linking up with Palestra, and contributing defensively too. What makes this really interesting is that he's not just a flashy attacker, he's got the work rate to back it up. In my opinion, this is exactly the kind of player Chelsea needs right now, someone who can inject energy and creativity into a team that's still finding its identity under Xabi Alonso. Speaking of Alonso, this is his second loss in a row, and while pre-season results don't define a manager's tenure, the patterns are worth noting. Chelsea's attack looked disjointed, especially in the final third. João Pedro and Jamie Gittins, who've been standout performers in previous games, just couldn't find their rhythm. What many people don't realize is that pre-season is as much about tactical experimentation as it is about fitness. Alonso is probably still figuring out his best 11, but the lack of cohesion up front is a bit concerning. If you take a step back and think about it, Chelsea's attacking issues last season were a major problem, and seeing them struggle here raises a deeper question. Are they any closer to solving that problem? Now, let's talk about the defense, because there's a mixed bag here. Marco Palestra, at just 19, continues to impress. His pace and ability to go both inside and out caused Juventus real problems. But, and this is a big but, he nearly cost Chelsea a goal with a sloppy turnover near the halfway line. It's a reminder that young players, no matter how talented, still have room to grow. Wesley Fofana, on the other hand, had a rough day. His passing out from the back was shaky, which is surprising given his usual composure. From my perspective, this could just be a one-off performance, but it's something to keep an eye on as the season approaches. One detail I find fascinating is Moses Caicedo being handed the captain's armband. Now, this isn't just a symbolic gesture, it's a statement. Caicedo's combative style and leadership qualities are clearly valued by Alonso. What this really suggests is that Chelsea are building their midfield around him, which makes sense given his energy and ball-winning abilities. But here's the thing, with so many new faces in the squad, leadership is going to be crucial. Caicedo stepping up in this role could be a game-changer, but it's also a lot of pressure for a player who's still relatively new to the team. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, Mykhailo Mudryk's return. After 20 months out due to anti-doping proceedings, he finally got some minutes. The crowd gave him a warm welcome, which was nice to see, but let's be honest, he didn't exactly light the world on fire. He looked bright, sure, but there wasn't that wow moment we've all been waiting for. Personally, I think it's way too early to judge him. Coming back from such a long absence is no small feat, and he's still finding his feet. But the pressure on him is immense, and I can't help but wonder if he'll be able to live up to the expectations. Finally, let's talk about the bigger picture. Chelsea are in a transition phase, and pre-season is their testing ground. Xabi Alonso is trying to implement his style, but it's clear there are still kinks to work out. Juventus, on the other hand, looked more cohesive, and Edon Zhegrova's goal was a moment of pure class. But here's the thing, pre-season results rarely predict how a team will perform in the actual season. What matters more is the progress, the chemistry, and the individual performances. And in that regard, Chelsea have some bright spots, Quenda, Palestra, Caicedo, but they also have a lot of work to do. So, what's my takeaway? Chelsea are a work in progress, and that's okay. The real test will come when the Premier League kicks off. But for now, I'm keeping a close eye on Quenda and Caicedo, because they could be the keys to Chelsea's success this season. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, who stood out to you, and what are your expectations for Chelsea this season? Let's chat.